ShivÅsti and Namaskar to everybody out there. It's day 2 of our 6-day retreat, preparing and moving in breath, body, being and consciousness into the shift of 2020, the new decade of working from the higher chakras, the new decade of working in a space of awareness and consciousness. And today I am actually not going live, but I'm posting this little video because I'm in a slightly sketchy signal area and I don't want to take a chance on the live going wrong while we are on. So I'm pre-recording this and I will upload this as soon as we are done. But today I'm coming to you from outdoors, from one of my most special sacred spaces. It's in Alibag, just by the sea, a little Ganpati Mandir where I always stop on the way in and on the way out. He's a tiny little Ganpati. I'll give you a darshan before I end this video. And he's a tiny little Ganpati with a whole lot of energy. He ordains, or he looks out to all those who travel across these waters, and they were very rough waters till the jetty and the new breakwater came in. So I'm coming to you from the outdoors in the arms of one of my most beloved banyan trees. This is an old tree and it's got amazing energy. It's very, very alive with a lot of enlightened beings. I don't know, maybe some saints have meditated here. I must find out, because this definitely has a lot of tap energy, a lot of meditative energy here. So today, before we start out on anything else, I want to ask everybody, how did the eclipse, how did the SuryaGrahan treat you? Was it okay? Was it light? Did you feel it? I think a lot of us have felt it very strongly, which is why I have my moonstones on, because the Leela, the play, of course, visibly is the wind, is the sun. The sun is an eclipse, and 5 planets played a lot of energetic roles today in this eclipse. But the guy who is ordaining it all is the moon. So today really is the day to appease or to pacify or to make shanta the element of the moon, our Chandranadi, as we embark into preparing for what comes from tomorrow onwards. So as we talk about the Chandranadi, let me tell you a little about what this left side of our energy system is about. Of course, a lot of you know it, but let's just recap it. It's everything that is mystical, everything that is inward, everything that is meditative, healing, growing, evolving, inward and outward, is ordained by the moon. What the moon does to the waters of the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, the waters of the planet, it does to the waters within us. It does to the waters that ordain our breath, the moistures that ordain our organs, our body functions, and our mental and emotional state or sthiti. We know that so well. So today we will be working with the Chandranadi. Yesterday we created a grid, if you remember, of breathing in with the Chandra, equalizing or neutralizing or grounding with the earth, and then breathing out with the Suryanadi. And we created this triangle around ourselves to kind of create an energy grid so that it sustains all the energy work that we are hoping to do, that contains our vibrations as we move into functioning from a higher space of consciousness in the coming year, in the coming decade. So before I start out on the process for today, what we are going to be doing essentially with the moon energy is we're going to be cleansing. We're going to be using this. That's what the energy of the solar eclipse also was, very, very strongly cathartic. So a lot of us felt sudden upheavals, sudden mood swings, sudden heaviness coming into our space, and that kind of lifted suddenly as the eclipse shifted. I've had people calling me or messaging me and saying, I fell down, I felt this sudden fear, I felt alone, I felt angry. A lot of people have, including me, had a little tiff with our spouses or our loved ones, and we didn't know where all this deep-rooted, deep-seated emotions were just rising and finding space to kind of express themselves. And like I said yesterday, I see this as a good thing. I see this as actually cleansing what is contained and hidden within for the next decade, because we don't want to be going in with any debris. We don't want to be going in with any energetic leftovers. We want to go in clean, because like we've already visited, that all the karmic patterns, all the preordained patterns that we have lived with for realms, for lifetimes, are clearing as this decade shifts. Again, let me remind you that the decade shifts actually on the 15th of Jan. So it's okay. On the 1st of Jan, we don't have to reach anywhere really in a hurry. We have until the 15th of Jan to work on this. So today I was very drawn to bring along my, you'll see this up, mirrored, but I still haven't figured out how to not do that. But this is the Gaia Oracle deck, my Gaia deck. And I wanted to pick a card as sitting in the temple, a message to all of us before we start out on this cleansing journey. And what came up was this card. It's the Sacred Heart. I will read out from the book. I will read out from the instructions. Is you are entering a period of profound and heartfelt love. It's everywhere. The messages are everywhere. A deeply emotional time where you focus on, question, and think about the things that matter to you most. That's what happened to all of us through this shaking up movement of the moon and the sun, the entwining of the moon and the sun. You will find yourself re-evaluating your priorities and core values. And this leads you along a path of self-discovery, bringing with it a deepened spiritual connection to the earth, your surroundings, family, friends, and loved ones. Your passion and appreciation of life are heightened. At times, your emotions overflow to the point of being almost unbearable. Yet, this is nothing to fear or be concerned about, for this is a most sacred and precious time through which your loving intentions are both seen and felt by all around. Your inner light and wisdom illuminates, heals, inspires. This is a good time for creative writing, or you may feel inclined to draw, paint, or take up a creative pursuit of some kind. Thank the earth and stars for the many blessings you receive. So the earth is really playing a very, very strong role, a strong theme. Even a card that we pick for our journey today, or a journey into the 2020 shift, is for the love that the earth gives us. The affirmation that is listed in here is, I am in tune with my inner light and wisdom. I am guided always by love. I energetically share my light and wisdom with others. I am one with the earth and stars. The guidance I receive is free from the limitations of time and space. How beautiful is this? And the practice that we're going to do, a short little intention practice. This again, like I said, was the Kaya Oracle. This is a beautiful deck. I think a boat has just landed and we have some people coming off, so you'll hear a bit of background noise, but it's okay. It's all about finding our own rhythm, our own space within. Wherever you are, whatever aloneness or crowd you're in, we have to find our own little balance within, right? So today what came to me very strongly, and this was sent very strongly by the angel Ariel. I welcomed 5 angels into my home, into our home, our abode last night. And somehow the 6th one, Ariel, kept knocking on my consciousness and saying, I'm here too. So Angel Ariel came in very strongly and recommended or suggested very, very strongly that we do a cleansing. We do a complete cutting of all belonging to every pattern that we have been associated with, in gratitude, in absolute humility, and thanking whatever has elapsed, whatever has been in our lives, in our lifetimes, this one and so many more before, in our realms that we've existed in, whatever little imprints and exchanges we've had that have cast any karmic bonds on us, it is time to let go. So today we arrive unto the seating and just quieten the mind, quieten the breath, deepen the awareness of the within. My favorite words, meet your breath. We don't meet our breath. So as you arrive into a very comfortable seating where the shoulders are neutral, very relaxed and easy. The spine is erect but not stiff. The neck, just move it around. Make sure it's very easy and relaxed and neutral. There's no tension anywhere. You can just massage your neck a little. Make sure that is very easy. The collarbones, the arms are very easily placed. You could be sitting cross-legged, you could be sitting on a mat, you can be sitting on a sofa. It doesn't matter. Even if your legs are hanging, you're on a chair, it's fine. We're doing a very easy thanksgiving and letting go intention and dharana today. So just arrive very easily into the seating and allow yourself to meet the breath. You can imagine that the breath is a being of light that has come to stand before you, before becoming one with you, an enlightened vibrational being. Meet your breath. Even before you close your eyes, the dharana or the visualization of this whole being that is your breath there before you. Meet your breath and bow to it. The breath is, and so my journey is. The journey of life that I have chosen is. And once you've met your breath, allow the eyes to close themselves, enjoying that whole movement of the eyelid closing upon the lower lid, and that moment when you move from the outer gaze to the inward. Just rest in the awareness of the breath, and as the eyes turn their gaze into the non-gaze inward, the breath also begins to become one with the body and being. An ease of breath is achieved, a comfort in breathing is arrived unto. Very gentle, very normal breathing until the inhale becomes one with the body before being exhaled to become one with the being. You know the difference between the body and the being. The body is the physical me, and the being is the energetic and the physical combined. So on the exhale, connecting with the physical body, pausing to become one with it, and exhaling to become one with that expanded awareness of the being totality that I am, my physical and my energetic self. Allowing the breath to deepen and deepen further and slow down. As I breathe the next cycle of breath, I breathe into the heart space, the Anahata and the Rita Padma, which is at the back of the heart. So as I inhale, the breath goes between the Anahata and the Rita Padma, or the lotus heart, or the energetic heart. And we're going to constantly breathe into the heart and breathe out vertically up and express the exhale out from the crown. The physical breath continues doing its stuff. And just resting in the breath. As an ease is arrived unto the breath, as the awareness of breath, of being in the breath, deepens and eases, breathing into the heart space between the physical heart and the energetic heart, and exhaling from there out into the Akasha. We shall bring together the middle finger and the thumb, the Akasha Tattva, the space, infinite space Tattva that is me. Akasha rests within the heart space, and it is where all the records of bonds and karmic patterns are maintained. So bringing the middle finger and the thumb together, just igniting with the Agni, the Akasha Tattva, and resting in all space. With each breath expanding into being aware of floating in all space. Give it a few breaths to become one with all space while you're breathing into the heart chakra mandalas and breathing out into the Akasha above the crown. Just breathing. The next inhale, I go to that point of my conception, the moment of my choosing this journey of life, even before the womb. This is the moment that the mother who bore you in this physical life decided to have a life within her, even before your physical conception. When the mother decided that she is ready to give forth or create a life, your vibration appeared in that constellation, in the Akasha. You chose your moment of birth. You chose your journey of this life. You chose that womb that would carry you, the parentage and the lineage that you would belong to. It could have been from previous groupings, from previous interactions, or it could have been from wanting to be part of a whole new journey or an experience. So with the inhale, we're going back to that moment of my deciding to be part of this physical life journey. Where am I? What is my vibration? What is the kind of emotion that rides most predominantly at this moment? As I think back to that moment of deciding that I shall choose birthing into the physical realm of this planet, of this human birth, in that vastness of space, inhaling into the heart space, visualizing that space, that all galaxies, all blackness and all light, all effulged and merged into one non-space, where I was the stillness. What is my vibration? And in the exhale, we release all that was coded or preordained at that moment of choosing. The bonds, the signatures and vibrations that I chose to be tied in with, entwined with, to choose this birth, to choose this moment, to choose this lineage, to choose this journey of physical life. I am ready to let go of this moment in this breath. Exhaled. All that tied me down, all that entwined me or entangled me into choosing my moment of physical manifestation, I liberate from my energies, and I am liberated from those energies in this breath. Exhale. Whatever karmic bonds, whatever karmic patterns caused me to choose a particular group of souls to be connected with, particular actions, particular motivations, particular emotions, particular pravrittis or inclinations, I choose to be liberated from them in this breath. Exhaled. Inhale and exhale slowly, gently, gradually shifting deeper. A slight pulsation in the third eye or the Agna is very, very normal, very expected, because the Akashic records and all that has been given as knowing unconsciously or consciously is all stored in this area. So a little tingling, a little waking up or awareness of the third eye is very normal. So don't focus on it, let it do its job. A little tingling at the back between the shoulder blades is also very normal and natural, because that's where all the karmic attachments are coded. That means the energies are working on them and tapping on them. Let them free. Coming into the next cycle of breath, very gently, very easily and gradually. Breathing now into the womb that carried you. Sending your inhale to the mother's womb that carried you. And drawing the exhale from there into the Akasha. Inhale, and you return to be ensconced in the mother's womb. In this breath, in this next cycle of breath, we return to the waters and the sustenance and nourishment that we received in the mother's womb. And moments before birthing, moments before emerging, holding gratitude, holding thanksgiving, and holding all the honor and respect for this version of the earth, the mother's womb that carried me into this life. In the next exhale, I'm birthed energetically yet again and casting away all the imprints of that connect. In the next exhale, casting away all the physical imprints that I carried into the birthing into this physical life. I'm free not from this beautiful relationship of mother and child, but I'm free from whatever energetic bonds that have tied the mother to me and me to the mother, controlling and ordaining both our journeys. So in setting or releasing free, I'm not only setting myself free, I'm also releasing and enabling and empowering my mother's journey into her fullness, into her wholeness. So when we are releasing bonds, we are not cutting away the ties or the emotional or the worldly love and respect and communication that we have. We're just energetically enabling both the journeys to be free of whatever patterns have been printed and imprinted. So she can be whole and I can be whole in our isolation. Breathing into that womb and exhaling. In that exhale, you're birthed a little. At this moment, there is all possibility of mild sensations in the heart, the diaphragm, the upper belly regions. These are the birthing creatrix emotion energies opening up. Allow them to open up. There will be a light cooling in the heart space because this expanding. The physical cords that we have at the time of birthing are imprinted really strongly. So in letting go, I do not like to term them as cutting of cords or breaking of any ties. I just believe that we are completing the circle, completing our journeys, and releasing or expanding the potentiality of both the energies involved in that bond. So breathing very naturally, very gently, letting go, like almost like a placenta that you're unhooking from your navel space now. Just gently unhook it and let it go into the cosmos with the exhale into the Akasha. Let it melt, let it merge, let it free. And breathe gently, naturally and normally. Very easily, breathing the natural, normal breath, the unattached breath that is effortlessly flowing through the breath, body and being. Allow your awareness to return to that breath that you were in communion with at the start of our tiny little journey today. And breathing in, inhale and exhale. Waking up. I think that little child's voice woke us up. The energies work like that, bringing us back to the physical, bringing us back to the now, bringing us back to this very earth-bound existence. This is where we are. This is where we've chosen to be. And breathe gently, normally, allowing the eyes to open and returning from that inward gaze to the outward. And rest. A mild heaviness, a mild buzzing between the ears is very normal because you worked with intention or dharana or visualization of erasing a lot of signatures that were held in the spaces between our energetic fields. And when you let go of, there's a automatic oxygenation that happens, decalcification that happens of the pituitary, of all the chakra mandalas, and a little headiness comes in. This is the headiness of being in connect with the breath. You don't need anything else to be heady, really, if you are in connect with the breath. So we've tried to work on visualizing, erasing the signatures that we chose. Even the signatures were chosen by us. It's not like somebody dumped it upon us. It's always you. At the beginning, in between the manifesting of your life and the dissolution back to source, and everything in between, you'll realize that there is no one or nothing who is effecting it but you yourself. The moment you chose to be manifested is when you chose this life. The moment you chose the signatures and patterns that you want to experience, explore, learn, taste, be in this life, it was you all the way. So when we are wiping out the karmic patterns, when we are wiping out all that has been coded so far, we just spoke about this lifetime. You can do the same practice with multiple lifetimes. Work with the tourmaline. If you have a tourmaline crystal, hold a tourmaline crystal in your hand and work with multiple lifetimes. You can go back as far as your breath guides you, as far as your consciousness and awareness guides you, to back to source from the moment of probably your first manifest life. You can do the same practice of letting go of that moment of conception energetically and the moment of conception physically, and wipe clean all that was ordained or prescripted in that signature, and release and be released. See, when we let go of cords, when we let go of patterns, when we let go of what is pre-coded, we are releasing and being released, because once my canvas is wiped clean, I can splash all the colors of manifestation that I choose here on. So do practice this again tomorrow before we sit down in peace, without me rambling, without my voice. Now you know the theory is of meeting your breath, absorbing the breath, becoming one with the breath, flowing with the breath to the heart. Between the physical heart and the energetic heart, there is that space of the chakra mandalas of the Anahata and the Rita Padma. So you breathe into that space between your chest and the back. You breathe in and you breathe out from the top of the crown into Akasha, holding the middle finger and the thumb together in activating the Akasha Tattvas on your lap as you are comfortable. And as you breathe, you inhale. The dharana, the visualization is of that moment of conception. And as you exhale, is of that moment being released, all the patterns being released. You inhale into the Nabhi, into the heart, and you exhale from those spaces out into the cosmos, into the Akasha. Clearing or letting go or releasing the patterns of energetic conception and the patterns of the physical conception at birth, rebirthing with every exhale, conceiving yourself with every inhale. So I think we'll draw, because Gaia chose to be with us. We had one card before we started. I had already drawn it. We shall draw one more to see what our release gives us. What message does the release have for us? And we're going to be cutting it. I don't believe this. If you could read this, it's mirrored, but it says liberation. What more do you want? What other sign do we want? Breaking free from a negative. The light's not too good here. Attachment. Breaking free from a negative attachment. So I wouldn't call it negative. I wouldn't really say anything is really negative or positive. But let's see if we can find it here. Liberation. Page 54. I'm going to do this very non-glamorous thing now. I'm going to turn my specs. Page 54. Whether you realize it or not, you have become too emotionally attached or dependent on someone or something, or you have allowed or inadvertently caused someone to get too emotionally attached to you. What at first seemed like a healthy friendship or interest now seems to be taking over your life or is creating too much codependence. So this could even be just our own self, with our own preconceived notions, our own evaluations of what life should be, what I should be, our own benchmarks or our own roles that we set ourselves in. Maybe we get too attached to them and we don't let change or shifts in. So for your sake and the sake of the others, you must do whatever it takes to break free from this negative emotional attachment. Again, I wouldn't term it as negative, but a binding or a limiting attachment. When you manage to emotionally detach yourself from this issue, you will have learned a valuable lesson, and this will serve you well in future. Affirmation. I release myself from all attachment. I trust that this is for my highest good. I trust that this is for the highest good of all. I help others most by not allowing myself or them to be codependent. I look at every situation in a balanced way. I am just moved to what this card has revealed. Really, really. This is such a beautiful sign that the shift is really coming. And if you are tuning in even just this little bit, the energies are just waiting to guide us, waiting to embrace us, and waiting to lead us into a beautiful surge of sparkling and enlightened and conscious ways of life. So that's it for now. That's it for today. I take your leave, and I shall see you tomorrow when we in earnest start our practices. We were just preparing and kind of creating an environment in our breath, body and being to do the cycles, to do the kriyas, to do the attunements that we shall be embarking upon from tomorrow. So from the sacred space, let me show you. Let me take you to my Bappa. Let me turn this around. see. That's him. So may he bless, may he make this journey even more beautiful and even more meaningful and even more fulfilling. Namaskar, ShivÅsti. Thank you. See you tomorrow at 8. Tomorrow will be live because I will be back home. Love and light, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the evening. Good night.